we felt it's also important for us to look at some areas that will stimulate the economy. If you remember, that's one of also the policy objectives I shared with you. That we are going to use the instrumentality of anti-corruption to do what? To stimulate the economy. That was how and why we went into the area of policy motivation, forex malpractices and all of that. And under 1 month, we began to see the impact of that. I tell you, if we were not involved in the enforcement of some of these laws, we wouldn't have what the benefits we have derived from these forex malpractices and all of that, we wouldn't have gotten there at all. So if we go to zone 4, I'm not sure we will see anybody displaying product. Some people have taken us to cleaners on the issue of spraying money and all of that. It's not the work of EFCC. It's not the responsibility of the EFCC. Go and look at our law very well. I'm a lawyer myself. And I did promise I won't do anything outside the rule of law. What do you understand by economic sabotage? What is the meaning of economic crime? My mandate is not only to investigate financial crimes. The mandate goes as far as investigating economic crime. As a matter of fact, my law, section 40, specifically gives me the power to investigate oil bunkering, vandalization of pipelines. You can't read it very well. That's why we call it EFCC a specialized agency. And so we are doing this. Why did we arrest Bobrisky? Why did we? Now, the moment we did that, people started sending videos. 10 years people that was recorded 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and all of that. And you start running after that and say, it doesn't work this way. Now everybody has just woken up to the reality, to the fact that this thing is wrong, and we should actually want to identify ourselves with what we're doing. If we are not making it, but people will not be rushing to send videos to us. They call it, they said, these are the little forces that spoil the vine. If you don't handle those things, if you don't create that economic sanity in the minds of our people or in our environment, you will not get there. There is no nation that is built or thrives on lawlessness. No nation. No matter how trivial you think the law is, we are going to apply it as far as it affects our economy. We are going to do that. And we don't have any apology. If it is not within my mandate, let the court pronounce on that. Anybody who is angry that I'm arresting people who are mutilating our currency, as if that is the world practice, as if that we are taking pride in that, let the person go and challenge that power to investigate and prosecute in court. And let the court tell me I don't have the power to do it, and I will stop immediately. And I say, it's not about me. It's about this country. We cannot afford. What system who want to be killed to be the one coming behind us? I will get there. If you don't start now. So those areas we are going into, Yahoo boys. Some people have, in fact, not only abusing me, some people have gone as far as abusing my father who died in 1978 over the fact that I'm investigating Yahoo boys. Let me share a few things with you. Just a few things. The way they are capturing them, the way we have 419 training school, we're also going to come up with a hub that will help us to channel those skills. You can imagine somebody who never studied science. Imagine his proficiency in handling systems, hacking websites. Now, assuming that guy is that skill is channeling towards positive things, you can imagine the contribution he will make towards the economic development. So those are things we're doing. Those are the innovations we are bringing into this work. Secondly, I also want to let you know, in addition to some of this restructuring agenda, the development in certain sectors of the economy, particularly legal mining. We are going very seriously into the area of legal mining. Gentlemen, if you see what Nigeria loses every day to illegal money, you will pay for this country. And these are areas where a lot of people don't even understand how the process is involved. So I'm talking to you. In fact, one of my key officers that I now brought in as my chief of staff is doing so much in that area in his former zone in Illinois. And so the last count, how many trucks of mineral resources have we seized? 40, sir. Yeah, over 40. Wow. You know what that means? lithium, all kinds of expensive natural resources. Over 40 trucks. Nigerians are the one doing it for them. Taking them to the mining sites, doing the excavation, doing the transportation, doing the loading. They must have passed through ports to ship that thing out. So we are seriously going to that. I'm going to prosecute them. In fact, we started some prosecutions as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're going to give you details of how much we are able to recover from that. We have started recovering money. Finally, I also want to give you the way they are capturing them, the way we have 419 training school. We're also going to come up with a hub that will help us to channel those skills. You can imagine someone who never studied science. Imagine his proficiency in handling systems, hacking websites. Now, assuming that guy is that skill is channeling towards positive things, you can imagine the contribution he will make towards the economic development. So those are things we're doing. Those are the innovations we are bringing into this work. Secondly, I also want to let you know, in addition to some of this restructuring agenda, the development in certain sectors of the economy, particularly illegal mining. We are going very seriously into the area of illegal mining. Gentlemen, if you see what Nigeria loses every day to elect our money, we will pay for this one. And these are areas where a lot of people don't even understand how the process is involved. So I'm talking to you. In fact, one of my key officers that I now brought in as my chief of staff is doing so much in that area in his former zone in Illinois. As at the last count, how many trucks of mineral resources have we seized? 40, sir. Yeah, over 40. Wow. You know what that means? Of lithium, all kinds of expensive natural resources. Over 40 trucks. Nigerians are the one doing it for them. Taking them to the mining sites, doing the excavation, doing the transportation, doing the loading. They must have passed through ports to ship that thing out. So we are seriously going to that. I'm going to prosecute them. In fact, we started some prosecutions as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're going to give you details of how much we are able to recover from that. We have started recovering money. Finally, I also want to give you the way they are capturing them, the way we have 419 training school. We're also going to come up with a hub that will help us to channel those skills. You can imagine someone who never studied science. Imagine his proficiency in handling systems, hacking websites. Now, assuming that guy is that skill is channeling towards positive things, you can imagine the contribution he will make towards the economic development. So those are things we're doing. Those are the innovations we are bringing into this work. Secondly, I also want to let you know, in addition to some of this restructuring agenda, the development in certain sectors of the economy, particularly illegal mining. We are going very seriously into the area of illegal mining. Gentlemen, if you see what Nigeria loses every day to elect our money, we will pay for this one. And these are areas where a lot of people don't even understand how the process is involved. So I'm talking to you. In fact, one of my key officers that I now brought in as my chief of staff is doing so much in that area in his former zone in Illinois. As at the last count, how many trucks of mineral resources have we seized? 40, sir. Yeah, over 40. Wow. You know what that means? Of lithium, all kinds of expensive natural resources. Over 40 trucks. Nigerians are the one doing it for them. Taking them to the mining sites, doing the excavation, doing the transportation, doing the loading. They must have passed through ports to ship that thing out. So we are seriously going to that. We're going to prosecute them. In fact, we started some prosecutions as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We're going to give you details of how much we are able to recover from that. We have started recovering money. Finally, I also want to give you, in respect of Yaya Bello's case, as regards his case. We have put out a publication there. I hope most of you have seen it. Our position. You know, there is no law that EFCC has violated. How I wish our opinion leaders can just take time to understand what we are doing. Right here with me, I have a copy of the judgment of the Kogi State High Court. The man approached the High Court for the enforcement of his fundamental rights. And concluding his judgment, in fact, rather than disobey the law, we have obeyed. Honorable Justice Issa Jamil Abdullahi, a man I respect so much and I was so smart, man. I will read to you the last 2-3 paragraphs of his judgment. He said, I am under no illusion that under the laws of this country and having regard to the provisions of the EFCC Act 2004, the Commission cannot be restrained from carrying out criminal investigation and prosecution of any citizen of this country. However, the exercise of these powers is subject to the overriding provisions of the Constitution or any subsisting order of court, and he quoted some judgments, IGP versus Super and so on. And he went further to say that the applicant having established, that was Yaya Bello, established infringement or threatened infringement of his right. He didn't say or threatened infringement of his right by the respondent, which was EFCC. He is now entitled to benefit from the long-standing principle and legal maxim, ubi jus, ubi remedium, as it is central to the cardinal principle of administration of justice, that where injury is established or imminent, there must always be a remedy, and he quoted some other judgments. The applicant, no doubt, is entitled to the grant of some protective reliefs. While I am inclined to grant the orders sought by the applicant in this application, I can only grant them subject to what is permissible under our laws. It has been repetitively made clear in this judgment that the respondent cannot be restrained, as EFCC, from exercising its statutory mandate to investigate and prosecute persons or authorities reasonably suspected of having committed financial crimes as obligated under its Establishment Act. Accordingly, I will make no such order. And he gave us some citations. And if I may add, prosecution. Now, looking at the orders sought by the applicant, I am inclined to grant them subject to some alterations, which in my view will make the justice of this case as in following terms. An order is hereby granted, enforcing the fundamental rights of the applicant, that was Yaya Bello, to liberty and freedom of movement and fair hearing, by restraining the respondent, that was EFCC, by themselves, their agents, servants, or previous, from continuing to harass, threaten, to arrest or detain, or in any manner whatsoever arresting, detaining, or persecuting the applicant, or I think he wanted to write prosecuting the applicant, on the basis of criminal charges now pending before the Federal High Court. We have filed our charges there. Now, without prejudice to the power of the said Federal High Court to make any order as it may deem just in the determination of the rights of the applicant and the respondent as may be submitted to them, to her, for consideration and determination. Another is hereby granted, directing the respondent to bring before the said Federal High Court. It was Kogi State High Court that directed the EFCC enforcer to go and file a charge against him, as against what is being touted out there. Another is hereby granted to EFCC, the respondent, to bring before the said Federal High Court or any such appropriate court such criminal charge allegation or complaint in respect whereof the applicant is reasonably believed by the respondent to have committed any offence subject of his jurisdiction, provided that his respondent shall not invite, arrest or detain the applicant on account of a reasonable belief that the applicant has committed any financial crime without first obtaining the leave of a superior court of record, which is federal court where we are filing our charge, especially having regard to the antecedent of the respondent in the manner it has managed its engagement with the applicant. Remember the case we had with his chief of, was it chief of staff? Who do? What? Was it chief of staff? Yes, cashier, the government house cashier. The guy that was bringing the billions. I'm so passionate about the need for us to move forward in this country. A sitting governor, because he knows it's going. You move money. I mean, the particulars of offense in child's school fee in advance. In advance. Dollars. How much? 71?
Over, total is over almost 800.
$800,000.
In dollars, yes. In dollars. $72,000. $720,000, sorry. $720,000 in advance. In anticipation that he was going to leave government house. In a poor state like Kogi. And you want me to close my eyes to that? Under the guise of saying I'm being used by who? At this stage of my life, just by who? By who? For crying out loud. I assumed office here. I didn't initiate the case. I edited the case file. I called for the case file. I called for the report. And I said, look, there are issues here. Do you know on my honor, I put a call across to him, which ordinarily I'm not supposed to do, just to honor him as a governor, as a immediate past governor. Sir, there are issues. I've seen this case file. Can you just come? Let us clarify these issues. I'm under camera. He said, sir, I tell you my brother, I know, but I can't come. There's one lady, I don't know what her name is, maybe a senator, that she learned she had set, she has surrounded the EFCC with over 100 journalists, to come and embarrass him and intimidate him and all kind of stuff. I said, okay, if that is your fear, I'm going to pass you through my own gate, special man's gate. You will come to my floor. We will accord you that respect. I will invite my operative, they will come and interrogate you or interview in my own office. What could be more honorable than that? In my own office. To allay the fear. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You know what he said? But can't they come to my village? Can't they come to my village to come and say, I told you. He also got to talk. He sent a message to him. My director of the investment sent a message to him. Some people say we are handling him, we are harassed. Let's be fair on this. Look, we need the EFCC. We need this institution to survive. We need this institution to survive. I'm telling you. So many victims that we have wiped tears from their eyes. People that we have swindled and all of that. In their millions. How much are we going to say? Every day we keep recovering money for victims. Every day. In my 6 months, we have recovered close to 120 billion. Over 1,600 convictions. Somebody will now, those we are convicted, are they not human beings? Does he have 2 heads? Even if I'm going to lose the case at the end of the day, submit yourself to the rule of law. Let me be sure that, look, I don't get convictions. My job is to investigate and prosecute. Conviction is the responsibility of the court. So nobody will come and blame me, I didn't get conviction. Mine is to do my work diligently and leave it to the judiciary. Yeah. For civil society to follow up too. Yeah. It's not within my power to convict anybody or to go and lock anybody up. It's not. My law does not allow me to go and be taking it. Come on. For what? So at that point I said, look, this is, and I kept quiet. Nobody sought to him anymore. We are after he had refused the invitation. We continue with our work. After all, we don't even need him to come and make statement before we can even find a charge. If we are sure of our, the credibility of our work. So we have gathered all the necessary documentary evidence. We have prepared our processes. We find a charge. So come and answer to your charge. You refuse to come and make statements here. But that does not stop me from filing my charge. And will he also refuse to come and answer that charge? We are talking of over 80 billion naira, gentlemen, that belong to the people of Kogi, allegedly stolen. Allegedly stolen. So come and tell us, you didn't steal this money. Period. Is it today? EFCC have lost some cases. Yes. I'm not sure, I won't condemn myself for that.